Welcome back, amazing virtual assistants. I am so excited to be here with you in week 5 of our training, and I just want to take a moment to congratulate you on everything you have accomplished so far. You have learned a lot, from mastering Google Workspace to arranging travel arrangements, handling data entry, and even organizing meetings. Now it's time to level up once again. Today we are diving into project management, a critical skill for any virtual assistant, whether you are helping clients launch new products, whether you are tracking deadlines or managing multiple tasks at once. Knowing how to handle projects effectively will make you an even more valuable asset to your clients. By the end of this week, you will have a solid grasp of how to manage projects efficiently, keeping everything organized and on track. So let's get started. Now, let's first talk about what project management really means, especially for us as virtual assistants. You might think of project management as something for big companies or teams. But the truth is, even as a virtual assistant, you are managing projects every day. Here is the reality: your clients rely on you to handle multiple tasks, deadlines, and moving pieces. If you are not organized, things can fall through the cracks and deadlines can get missed. But when you have a solid project management strategy in place, it keeps everything running smoothly. This is where our tools, Trello, Asana, and Zapier, come in. Now, we would be using these project management tools, Trello, Asana, and Zapier, to manage our 6 weeks program. First up is Trello. Trello is a visual tool for organizing tasks, which makes it perfect for virtual assistants managing multiple projects. To create a Trello account, you can just navigate to your browser and search Trello. So Trello Google search loads. This is it. Manage your team's projects from anywhere. Just click on it. So here you get to sign up. You can sign up with your email account, and then you have to confirm your email linked to activate your account. Once you are logged into Trello, you get to see the interface, you get to see templates. The templates are so cool, but for this tutorial we would be creating our own board. A board is a place where you will organize your task. To create one, you just click on create. Then you get the option to create board or start with a template. For this tutorial, we would be creating a board. You can also practice as you watch. Now you get the option of giving your board a name or a title. You can change the background color here, and you can also choose if you want your board to be private or public. Since we are using this training as this particular project, I went ahead to put the title as Millionaire Squad VA Training 6 weeks in bracket. I left the visibility as private, and I also made the background color to be purple. Having done that, now you can just go ahead to create your board by clicking on create. I'm going to ask you to take a few seconds to subscribe to this channel if you are yet to, and also give this video a huge thumbs up. Now this is your Trello board. This is what it looks like. The background color I selected as purple is what makes this to appear as purple. What I would be doing now is to create lists for each week of the program. That is week 1 to 6. To add a list to this board, you see at the left hand side, you're going to see add another list. So just click on that add another list. From there you can input your list name. So for that first one, it's going to be week 1 introduction to virtual assistants. So when you're done, click on add list. So after week 1, I'm just going to go right ahead to add another list. I'm going to add in the list up until week 6, which is getting hired as a virtual assistant. So the second list is going to be week 2, which is Google Workspace for a virtual assistant. Then another list is going to be travel arrangements. Then week 4, data entry, research and meeting arrangement. Then week 5, which is what we are doing right now, project management for virtual assistant. And week 6 is getting hired as a virtual assistant. If you are yet to see week 1, week 2, week 3 and 4, I'll be dropping a link to them in the description box down below, so do well to check them out. Well done to all those who have done week 1 to 4. You have just mastered your way into becoming a professional and unique virtual assistant. And I am so excited because in a week time, we are rounding up this course and you're going to go out there and show the world how great you are. But remember, learning is a continuous process. Learning never ends and you have to be tech savvy. Okay, so back to our board. After creating all the lists for week 1 to 6, now it's time to add cards to each list. These cards represent individual tasks. I would start adding individual card from week 1. To create a card, you just click on add a card under the list you want to add the card to. Now, for example, week 1 introduction to virtual assistants. The first thing to do, the first task to do is to watch the video, because without the video you can't proceed with your assignment and all. So that will be the first card there. Then after watching the video, the next task will be to take the quiz, the 5-minute communication test quiz and the 10-minute time management quiz. Then also your peer-to-peer coaching, and also after that, then you submit your task for week 1. Then over to week 2 also. The first task in week 2 is still to watch YouTube tutorial video, because that will set the pace for the learning for that week. Then you also you practice on your own Google Workspace tools. You get to practice Gmail, Calendar, Google Drive, Google Document, Google Sheets, Google Slide, Google Form and Google Meets. Then you can do your calendar management, and after that you can submit week 2 task. Then for week 3, travel arrangements. Here you get to plan a trip to your desired country. You get to prepare your travel pack and your travel itinerary. So the first day is also to watch week 3 YouTube tutorial video. Then after watching, you get to practice how to prepare your travel presentation, your travel pack, your travel itinerary. I love Trello because it is user friendly, it is beginner friendly. Even if under travel arrangement, you get to plan a trip to your desired or your favorite location. I saw your creations and I was so proud. I hope that your dream of going to your favorite location comes true. Then you get to submit week 3 task. Then week 4 also, you add cards for individual task in week 4. First thing is to watch week 4 tutorial video. This week 4 is a whole deal because you get to learn how to research, how to enter data and how to arrange for meeting. You prepare your meeting agenda. You hold your meeting, like for real, you hold your meeting with your peer. It will help boost your communication skill, right? And it will also help you have an idea of what transcribing is, because you get to invite Firefly or your favorite transcribing tools. You can use Otter AI or Read AI. You get to practice your research and data entry. You book a call with your peers. You update it in your calendar. You invite your transcribing tools, and then you hold your meeting for real. That's your And then you prepare your meeting agenda, each and every one of you. Wow, that week 4 was a whole day, but I was so proud of how you were able to handle it. So remember, you've got this. Now, week 5, which you are into right now, you are doing the first task in week 5 right now, which is to watch week 5 video. While you're watching the video now, or after watching the video, you get to practice with project management tools. Then you submit your task for week 5. Your task for week 5 is to share a link to the beautiful board you have created on Trello and Asana. Now, week 6 is a whole deal because you have to practice to be an exceptional virtual assistant. You're going to be creating your cover letter. You're going to be optimizing your LinkedIn profile. You're going to be crafting your resume to beat automatic tracking system. You would also create a unique portfolio that will make you stand out. So all we have been doing from week 1 to week 6, please keep them handy, because when it is time to create this portfolio, you're going to showcase all you have done. From your calendar management to your week 3 travel arrangements to your data entry, meeting agenda and minute of meeting, please keep them handy. To this project management also, keep them handy. You will use them in your portfolio to make you stand out. You'd also get to send cold emails and warm emails. So brace up, week 6 is going to be a whole lot, because in week 6 you're going to get hired as a virtual assistant, and I can't wait to hear your success stories. Now, after creating your list and adding cards to each list, it's time to edit. To edit, you click on a card, then you get the edit option. There are a lot you can do in this edit option. You can add a description for your card here, for each card. So for example, watching the YouTube video, you get to learn who a virtual assistant is, why a virtual assistant is a notable niche you can dive into. This is where you learn the skills required to be a virtual assistant. That is the soft skills and the hard skills. The hard skills is what you're learning right now. In your description, you can be creative. You can bold, you can italicize, you can change the font size, you can add pictures. There are a lot to do here. For each card, you can also add due dates. Due dates help you to track deadlines. So open date, click on date. You can add your start date and your end date here. You can even set a reminder for the due date. If you want it to be a day before or so, then you can save when you are done. If you like, you can also add a checklist. Checklists are created within individual cards, and it helps you track progress by marking items as complete as you go. Each card can have multiple checklists. You can add to this checklist, you can delete checklist, you can edit it, you can customize it as well. Go right ahead and explore. Now you can also add an attachment to your card by just clicking on that attachment. For example, now for this, search or paste a link. Since it is a YouTube tutorial video, you can just copy the link to the video and paste here. So once you are done editing your card and all, you can now track your progress. Tracking your progress involves moving your cards from one list to another. That means you have to move your card from all the other lists, week 1 to 6, to this list here, to do, doing and done list. The cards you have completed will be in done. The ones you are doing right now will be in doing, and the ones you will do in the future is going to be in to-do list. And as you complete your task, you can also move from doing to done, and also from to do to doing. This makes it very easy to track your project's progress. To move your card between lists, all you have to do is drag and drop. For example, watch YouTube tutorial video, drag it from week 1 and then you can drop it to done. So now you are going to repeat the same procedure for all the tasks you have done. So I believe all of week 1 tasks will fall into the done category, right? Then if you have also done week 2, you can drag them and drop in the done part. Week 3 also drag and drop. Then the ones you are doing, for example, this week 5 right now, you're doing it right now. So you can drag week 5 cards and drop in doing. And to do is going to be, for example, your week 5 task, right? And also week 6. Everything about week 6 is going to be in to do option. Look at you mastering the use of Trello like a pro. I'm so proud of you. Remember, project management isn't just about keeping things organized. It is about being proactive, meeting deadlines, and also delivering exceptional service to your clients. In our to-do list for next week, which is getting hired as a virtual assistant, you are going to apply what you have learned so far. You're going to include it in your portfolio. So stay focused and keep practicing these tools. So once you are done managing this particular project, it is time to share what you just created. You'll be submitting the link to this Trello board as your task for week 5, and also not just Trello, you would also be submitting that of Asana. To copy the link of what you created, you would just click on share at the right corner up there. So when you click on share, you get the option to copy the link, share this board with a link. You can copy the link and close it. For your card, in case you are adding attachment, you can just copy the link from, for example, from the YouTube video and paste, just like I said earlier. Or you can even choose a file from your computer and add here. You can add a test, a display test. For example, this is the YouTube video, and click on insert when you're done. So you would get to see the attachment you just inserted. So there it is. You can also add start and due date. I already showed you how to do that, as well as checklist. Now labels. To add labels, click create labels to create a label. You can add tags like high priority, medium priority, or low priority. You can even choose colors for that label. So that is it. I just did for watch YouTube tutorial video, so you go ahead and edit all your various cards. You can just add the due dates for each week to be from the first week of the day, from the Monday to the upcoming Monday. That brings us to another amazing project management tool, which is Asana. To create an account with Asana, head over to your browser and search Asana. Remember that these tools are here to help you become more efficient, so don't hesitate to experiment and find workflows that work best for you. So Asana is this: manage your team's work, project and task online, this part here. So just click on it. Trello is great for visual task management. However, Asana shines when you need to dive deeper into task details and track dependencies between tasks. So you can get started with Asana by clicking on Get Started. Here you have to create an account with. Asana helps you to stay organized and on schedule by visually showing you which tasks need to be completed first. Not just that, it also allows you to assign tasks, set due dates, leave comments, and also attach files. So if you don't have an account with Asana, just go right ahead and click on Get Started to create an account with them. You can use your email address to create an account or your Google address. After signing in, you might be prompted to get the app, or you can just skip for now to continue using Asana on your web browser. For the project, we are still going to use the 6 weeks training to set up the project in Asana. This is what Asana's dashboard is looking like. To create a new project, all you have to do is go over to your left up there and click on Create. This will help you start up a new project. Asana also has different templates you can work with. So clicking on Create, you get to choose if you want a task or a project, but we are working with a project. So yeah, create a new project. So what we'll do, you can use a template, import project, or blank. For this course, we'll be starting from scratch. But let's see some templates Asana has by clicking on Use a Template to choose from the library. So when you click on Use a Template, you get to see pre-made templates from Asana's library. So Asana recommended some beautiful customizable templates you could work with. Those are nice. But for the sake of this tutorial, just like I said, we would be creating our own template from scratch. So we'll just go right ahead and click back on Create from where we started from, Project, and also click on Blank Project to start from scratch. So from here you can input your project name and also determine the privacy of your project. Asana offers powerful features like task management, project organization, collaboration tools, progress tracking, and seamless integration, all in one user-friendly program. Go right ahead and practice using Asana while watching this video. For your task for this week, you would also be sharing a link to this Asana project you will create. So now let's input a project name. I went ahead to add Millionaires Squad VA Virtual Assistant Training. So now you can input your privacy. Under that's privacy dashboard, so I added private to members only. So click on continue to continue into your project on Asana. Project management is a vital skill for a virtual assistant because clients need a VA that can help them handle tasks and manage projects. So yeah, you get to choose views for your project. These are Asana recommended views, then also popular views. So this is the calendar view, the workload view, Gantt view, note-taking view to write meeting and more. And also this is the dashboard, the board, the overview, the list view, the timeline. And also there are other views you can also check out under Show More Views. In Show More Views, you get to see the messages, files, workload, and all. So once you're done with selecting your view, just go ahead and click on Create Project. In Asana, you can divide tasks into sections, which act like categories or headers. For this particular project, which is our training, we will structure the project based on the 6 weeks of training. So this is our project. These are the layouts we chose: overview, list, board, and all. To add a section in your project, you just click on Add Section. Then you get to determine your section. For the first section, we're going to use week 1, which is Introduction to Virtual Assistants. Then we go ahead to add in another section that is going to be week 2, which is Google Workspace for a virtual assistant. Then we also add another section for week 3. Week 3 is travel arrangements. Another section for week 4. Week 4 is data entry, research, and meeting arrangements. Add section also for week 5, which we are doing right now. Week 5 is project management. And then the last section, which is week 6, getting hired as a virtual assistant. So after adding all the sections and all, what you're going to do next is add tasks for each week, similar to what we did in Trello. Just that in Trello we added list, this one we added section, right? Then also in Trello we added cards, and this one we are adding task. Under each section you get to see the add task, right? So you will list out tasks that you need to complete for each week. Week 1 task, the first thing is to watch week 1 video, the introduction to virtual assistant video, because that will set the pace for the learning for that particular week, where you get to find out who a virtual assistant is, the skills required to be a virtual assistant. Another beautiful thing about this Asana is that you can get to assign members or teammates for a particular task. Beside there you can see the assign and also the due date, so you can assign members or teammates to a particular task. Asana will even send them a mail, and then you can set a due date for that task too. Under each week you can add as many tasks as required. Then also week 2, likewise, Google Workspace for a virtual assistant. You get to add the first task, which is watching week 2 video. Week 2 video is going to set the pace for the learning. Then also week 2 you have to learn the Google Workspace tool on your own. Practice with each and every one of them. Practice with your Google Doc, Google Slide, Google Forms, Google Sheets, Google Meets. You practice with Gmail and calendar. Then you get to manage your own calendar, right? So after managing your calendar, you get to submit your week 2 task after uploading it to your drive. So go right ahead and add task for each week. Week 3 also is to watch week 3 video on travel arrangements. So week 3, watch week 3 video first to set the pace for learning your travel arrangement. After watching the video, you get to prepare your travel pack and your travel itinerary. You research also. A lot of research is done here. Then after that research and you have prepared your travels and all, then you get to submit. So you get to submit week 3 travel pack. Then week 4 also. Week 4 is a whole lot. Data entry, research, and many meeting arrangements. It is a whole lot, I must say, because you get to research a lot. You get to learn what researching is all about. If you are yet to see any of these videos, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, I'll be dropping a link in the description box down below for you to go check them out, because they are vital tools to become a virtual assistant. Each of these skills draws you closer to becoming a virtual assistant, not just a virtual assistant, a unique and an extraordinary virtual assistant. This week 4 is a whole lot, right? So after watching week 4 video, you get to practice your research skills, your data entry skills, and then you also get to prepare for a meeting with your peers. Then you practice meeting arrangements. You get to introduce a transcribing tool to your meeting, and you record your meeting. You create a meeting agenda and also a meeting note. Then week 5, which is this you are doing right now, watch week 5 video. You practice project management tools, Asana, Trello, and Zapier. Then you submit week 5 task. Week 6, getting hired as a virtual assistant. This is also a whole lot. You watch week 6 video. You get to practice all you learned. There is a lot to learn in this week 6, because after week 6 you would get hired as a virtual assistant. So after practicing all learned, you submit your week 6 task and get hired. Get hired is one of the tasks in week 6. You can also assign due dates to tasks, and as well you can assign tasks to teammates. For example, in week 1, just click on the week 1 watch introductory video. You get to assign the due dates. The due date for this is a week after, right? So now you can also assign a teammate to perform this task. You can add a description. You can add a description of that particular task, and you can also add dependencies if this task is dependent on this task before it can be performed. So with this, the teammate can get to see which task should be performed first in order for another task to be performed. Since this is a done deal, you can just mark it complete up there, and it is completed. You just saw a celebration. Keep completing tasks to see more. Okay, then take quiz and book a call with a partner. You can still add the due dates for this, and also you can assign it to a teammate, and you can add a description, dependencies. So these are the great features of Asana. Hello squad, I meant do subscribe to this channel. You are part of the squad. Okay, hello there. But if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, you are wrong. Do well to subscribe to this channel, and also like this video, give this video a huge thumbs up. And also I would like to know, between Asana and Trello, which of them is your favorite project management tools? I would want to know in the comment section down below. Which do you prefer to work with? Is it Asana or is it Trello? So drop a comment about that for me in the comment section down below. For me, I think they are good. They are both good. I don't even know which to prefer. They are both great tools to work with as a project manager, or a virtual assistant in this case. Now, I know it can be overwhelming. There are a lot of tools to work with as a virtual assistant. That there is Gmail, there is Calendar, there is Slide, there is Google Meet, there is Google Sheets, there is Google Doc, there is Asana, there is Trello. There are a lot of tools to work with. Now, that is where this automation tool also come in place, which is Zapier. We'll be talking about Zapier after this Asana. Zapier helps you to bring all your tools in one place. So with Zapier, you can access your Trello, you can access your Asana, you can access your mail, your calendar, and all. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned, squad. On your Asana, you can go ahead to add due dates for each and every task, right? Also, any task you've done, you can just mark it complete. If you are yet to do any of the tasks valid for each week, it is not too late. Head on and do them. Remember, you've got this. So, if you're not yet subscribed to Millionaire Squad channel, you are completely wrong. Do well to subscribe to this channel, and also give this video a like, a huge thumbs up, and drop a comment down below. Okay, our motto here is, it is the Lord that giveth power to get wealth. Commit your ways to him, and he will definitely direct your path. So I went right ahead to add due date for each task. I added the due date typically a week after from the start date. That is because completing each week's task in a week time is important, and it will help you stay on track and not overwhelm you. So go right ahead and practice with this beautiful project management tool, Asana. This is the project list that have a compilation of all tasks and deliverables. So clicking on overview up there takes you to the project overview. The project overview gives you a brief summary of the project that include its objective, its description, the timeline, milestone, and all. So the project description, for example, since this is a learning course, 6 weeks learning for virtual assistant, so the project description can be my learning journey to becoming a virtual assistant. Then we'll get to see project roles, connected goals, connected portfolios, key resources, and also milestones. The project overview is the foundation of any project, and it ensures everyone involved understand the purpose, goals, and outcomes. And this is the project list. This helps in tracking progress and ensures nothing is overlooked. Now the project calendar, clicking on project calendar takes you there. This is a tool that you can use to schedule and manage important dates, deadlines, meetings, and milestones throughout the course of the project. It helps in organizing time, setting priorities, and ensuring no deadlines are missed. Now the project board. This is typically a visual representation of project tasks. For the timeline, a project timeline outlines the sequence of tasks and milestones with deadlines, offering a visual map of the project schedule. This helps in time management and setting realistic deadlines. For the dashboard, a project dashboard is a real-time overview of project status. It helps display key metrics like task completion. A Gantt chart is also a type of bar chart that shows the start and end date or phase in the project. A project workflow also refers to the sequence of steps, tasks, or processes that need to be completed to achieve the desired outcome of a project. From the overview of the project, I just went right ahead to set milestones for this project. Milestones are significant points or events in a project timeline that mark the completion of key phases or major deliverables. Unlike tasks, which are actions, milestones are achievements or checkpoints. So for this particular project, the milestone will be the end of week 1, completing week 1 content and all, also week 2, and sequentially. They help to track progress and serve as a way to assess if a project is on schedule. And it usually creates a sense of accomplishment when reached. Asana is an effective tool for managing projects in a virtual assistant role. It helps teams collaborate and track work efficiently. So once you're done editing on Asana, you can take a snapshot of this because you would be adding it to your portfolio. And once completed, you can just go right ahead to copy the link, since you would be submitting a link to your project management on Asana and also on Trello. To share the link, you can just click on share on Asana and you get the option to do that. You get to see the option of copy project link. So go right ahead and copy the link as you would be submitting it in your task for this week. Just like I mentioned, it might be overwhelming because there are a lot of tools to work with: your Google, your Gmail, calendar, Asana, Trello, and all. The tools are numerous to work with. That is where Zapier comes in. Zapier is a tool that allows users to automate tasks by connecting different apps and services called zaps. The first step is to create an account with Zapier. From your browser, you can just search Zapier or zapier.com to get started. Zapier is a great automation tool that helps to connect your different apps together. So, clicking on Zapier, their official website. Zapier is a free automation tool, and most employees desire their virtual assistants to have the skill. So having this skill will set the pace for you. So you get to see start here with email or start with Google. So go right ahead and create a free account with Zapier. You can also practice while you are watching this. So just a few questions on Zapier for personalized user experience. Remember that Zapier is an automation tool that connects your apps and services to automate repetitive tasks without needing a code. A zap is an automated workflow that connects two or more apps. It consists of a trigger and an action. A trigger is the event that starts the workflow. Then the action is the task that Zapier performs after the trigger occurs. There are many apps for project management. When signing in, you get the option of choosing the top apps for you that you can use with this tool, Zapier. Almost all the apps used by a virtual assistant are here. You see Asana, Trello, Google Calendar, Google Drive. All the apps we have been talking about, all the websites we have been using in the course of this virtual assistant course are here in Zapier. So this is a great automation tool where you get to automate all of your work, right? Even Facebook is here, Telegram is here, ChatGPT, WhatsApp, Google Doc. So Zapier is a whole deal. It saves you time, it saves you stress, and just like I mentioned, most client or manager want a virtual assistant that can automate tasks with Zapier. So after selecting all the best apps to use with Zapier, you can just go ahead and continue by clicking on continue down there. Clicking on continue will take you to your Zapier dashboard. So from this dashboard, you get to create your first zap. Zap is an automation that connects two or more apps together. Now it's time to create your first zap. To do that, click on create. Clicking on create at the top left over there, you get to see option to create zaps, automated workflow, tables. But for this, you'll be creating a zap. So just click on zaps, automated workflow, and it loads. These key terms: trigger and action. Trigger is the event that starts the zap. Then action is what happens after the trigger. This simply means that whenever a trigger happens, an action takes place. In today's learning, we would be creating about 3 zaps. That is because I want you to be familiar with this automation tool. It is quite important. And in today's learning, we will create a simple automation zap where a Google form submission, add task to project on Asana. Also, we would also create another Google form submission that will create spreadsheet row on Google Sheet and send email. And lastly, We would also create a trigger, Google Form submission, that will send email, that will create a card on Trello, that would create a task on Asana, and also create calendar on Google Calendar. So brace up, let's do this together. After choosing your form in Google Forms, for example, you would be prompted to give Zapier access to your account and also to select the form you want to automate. Then you also get to select the form, just like I said, that you want to automate, the Google form you want to automate. For this, I believe by now you must have practiced creating Google Forms when we dealt with Google Workspace in week 2, right? So you must have created your own Google Forms. So if you did, you can just input your own Google Form here. But if you did not create one, it is not too late. Week 2 video is still available for you to watch and is still available for you to practice. I'll be dropping a link to week 2 video in the comments in the description box down below for you to check it out and perform your task and practice Google Forms, so you have a Google Form to automate here if you don't. Continuing with selected record gets you to also choose the action app. For this, I will be going with Asana, the project management tool we just talked about previously in the course of this video. The action app selected is Asana. You can choose the action events to add task, to attach file, create comment. There are a lot of things you can automate on Zapier. As a virtual assistant, for example, you can create a trigger in Google Calendar and the action will be to send an email via Gmail to your calendar. So whenever an event is added to your Google Calendar, an email is automatically sent to your client. You can also create a trigger, which is a mail, and the action will be to save the attachment to your Google Drive. With project management tool like Asana and Trello too, you can also automate that. Whenever you receive a new mail, you can easily add a new task in your project management tool. The summary of this automation is that whenever this happens, whenever a trigger happens, an action will definitely occur. So you'll be the one to set the trigger and also set the action. So there you have it. We practice by learning, right? So why not open your zaps and let us create another zap together. This zap we would be creating is for the trigger to be a Google form and the action will be to create spreadsheet row and send email. So to do that, just click on create. Then you get to choose Zap automated workflow. So it loads. The trigger in this case is going to be Google form, a new response in Google form. So when you click on trigger, you get to see different apps that you can use. So since it's Google form, you click on Google form, then you get another interface to choose the trigger event. So the trigger event in this case is going to be a new response in Google form. So there it is, new response, new form response. Then the account, you can link your account if you've not done so. My account is already linked. So after linking, continue. Just click on continue. Then you get to choose the form, the Google form that you want this action to take place. For example, I chose the free virtual assistant training. That is the Google form people will use to register. Then you can now configure and test your trigger to make sure that the trigger is set up correctly. So if you continue with selected record, you get to choose your action app, right? For the first action app, it's going to be Google Sheets. And it will be to create a row in Google Sheets. So I can just go ahead and click on Google Sheets. And the action I want on Google Sheet is to create a new row. So that simply means that whenever I receive a new form response, a row on Google Sheet is automatically created. Okay, so clicking on Google Sheet, you get to also select the action event, and for this case I want it to be to create a new role, right? So I'll just search for that in the action role. There are various things to do here. You can create multiple spreadsheet roles, create spreadsheet roles. There are a lot, but I just want to create a row. Yes, this is it, create spreadsheet row. So I can just click on that to continue. If your account is not linked with Zapier, you get to also link it in that account session. Then you can also continue from this part. You get to the configure aspects from the setup. Then you choose your drive on Google Sheets. You choose the spreadsheet. So for drive, I chose my Google Drive. You choose the spreadsheet as well. I have a lot of spreadsheets, so you choose the spreadsheet you want connected to that Google form that will automatically create a role, right? You also get to choose your worksheet. That is essential to finish setting up this Zap. I love Zapier a lot because it helps a lot. It helps business a lot. You don't have to go through this stress of doing this, doing that. You can automatically create it. Okay, you also get the option to test your Zap on Google Sheets to ensure that it works properly. Testing the action will help you to check if the test form response is added to your Google Sheet. I want to add another action, which is to send email to every form response. To do that, I would also click on that plus sign under action, add step. Yes, you see the option add step. So clicking on that, you get to choose the app. Since it is mail, I get to choose Gmail. So that icon pops up for you to choose the action event. Good thing is you can connect as many action apps as you want from your trigger. From this trigger, for example, whenever a Google form is received, a role is automatically created on Google Sheet and automatically a mail is sent, right? I chose the action event to be to send email. This is the configure or set up action. For example, these two parts, you get to choose that, okay, the email address would be gotten from the form response. That is the respondent email address. So this is the new form response in Google Forms. Then you get to see the respondent email, right? So clicking on that means every respondent will receive the email. Then carbon copy, blind carbon copy. You can also get to craft the email subject and the email body. This is creation of the email subject and body. For example, since this form is about the virtual assistant training, the subject can be something like welcome to the program or virtual assistant. Hi, thank you for joining. We are excited to have you as the body of the email. Feel free to explore more, experiment with other apps. You can select another trigger app, another action app. Just experiment about it. There is no harm in trying. I really can't wait to see you in the next video. I have a whole lot in place to share with you, so I can't wait to see you there. But if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, you have to subscribe so that you will get updated when I post this next video. So do well to hit the subscribe button, and not just that, give this video a like, yes, and comment down below. I want you to comment down below the trigger app you would be trying and also the action app you would also be trying. And I can't wait to see how far you're going to hone this skill of project management, even in virtual assistants. Now, the awesome thing about this is, just like I told you, being a virtual assistant helps you to develop yourself. I told you this in week 1, right? So this skill you are learning is going to come in handy even outside of your role as a virtual assistant, wherever you find yourself in the world. After testing your zap and all, you get the option to publish your zap, right? This is it. Your zap is on if you published it. This is a beautiful automated sequence in a way that whenever a person gets to fill the Google form, immediately a role is created on Google Sheet and immediately the respondent is sent an email. Wow, this is beautiful, right? And you can also come back anytime to edit your zap. Your zap is in your account. You can come back anytime to edit it just by clicking edit zap at the top right corner over there. So before we come to the end of this video, let us create another zap. That will be our last zap for this tutorial. To give your zap a name, you can just click that drop down where that untitled zap is. Then when you click on the drop down, you get to see the rename option. So you can rename your zap. So do well to rename your zap. You can use your name and your unique code. Yes. So when you're done, you can take a screenshot of the zap you created. That is because, like I always say, you would be adding it to your portfolio in week 6. Next, if you have been following this tutorial, this training for the past weeks, and you have been practicing every tool used, you are the most sought after virtual assistants right now. And I can't wait for the world to see your great potential. Also, do well to pay for your certificate, because next week I would be showing you how to add your certificate to your LinkedIn, your CV, and also your portfolio. So do well to pay for it so that when your certificate arrives, you can just add it to those tools I will be showing you next week. So let's create our final zap for today on Zapier. So you know the usual, click on create to create your zap. Then you can create your automated workflow, your zap. I have already gone ahead to insert the trigger to be Google Forms, and the action will be to send email. The Google form here I inserted is week 3 task submission. That is that travel arrangement task submission, and then sending email on congratulations on the completion of week 3. Before submitting it, I want to add another action step, which is to create a card on Trello. So to do that, I'll just go ahead and click on that plus sign. That plus sign gives you the option to add step, and clicking on that, you get to browse the app you want. So that is Trello right there. I will just click on Trello. We already walked through how to add cards on Trello and all. So now this can be automated in a way that a form response will immediately create a card on Trello. So that is where I get to choose the action events. What do I want Trello to do for me? And that will be to create a card. But there are a lot of events depending on what you want to do. You can even create a board. You can create a checklist. But for this, I would be creating a card. I'll be creating a card for this. After that, you connect your account. Then in this configure aspect, you get to choose the board that you want the card to be created. Then you also choose the list. We already created this list in this video, right? Week 1 to 6 list. And we already created the board, which is Millionaire Squad VA training, in this particular video. So you can choose the list, any list from this board that you want a card to be created. Immediately a Google form gets a response. Relevant data such as the title and description from the form response can also be inserted here. Whatever you would like to automate, feel free to automate it using Zapier. The good news and the best part about this tool is that it is free. You can even go ahead to input label for this, for colors, orange, yellow, purple, yellow. I inserted yellow here. Then also custom labels, card position. Do you want it at the top or at the bottom? Then you can choose member. You can add your member or due date. You can choose due date. Most of these things, remember, that is what you can even insert on Trello, right? When we did Trello at the beginning of this video, most of these things can be inserted on Trello. Now this Zapier, you can just bring everything to Zapier and insert. This is a very great tool. I've been sounding this a lot. You can even add file attachment, URL attachment, checklist name, and continue. Then continuing will lead you to test your Zapier to make sure that it will run smoothly. So you can test this step of Zapier. Every completed step marks green. For example, you see the setup, it marks green, configure marks green. Then now the test, when you test it too, if it is successful, it would also mark green, just like you can see. Then you can also publish this or add another action, which I would be doing now. Since I'll be adding another action step, I want to go to publish this, so I will just go to click the plus sign. I would be adding another step on Asana, and after that another one on Google Calendar. Let's create another task on Asana. So to do that, you still have to click on the plus sign down there to create another action step. So clicking on the plus sign, you get to choose the app you want. For this, we would be using Asana because we would be creating a task on Asana. So now I can choose our action event. For this, the action event will be to create a task on Asana. So that there it is, add a new task. So whenever a Google response is received, a task is automatically created on Asana. As a virtual assistant, you should be able to leverage AI tools for productivity. You also have to be tech savvy. AI tools are here to help you. They are not here to do the work for you. They are just here to simplify the work for you. So get onto it, grab AI tools, be tech savvy, and you are going to fly. You would also be submitted a screenshot of your Zap this week. So there are majorly 3 projects for this week: a shared link of your work on Asana and on Trello, and also a screenshot of your Zaps. Going through your previous weeks, I'm so pumped up with what you're doing, and I'm so proud of how far you've gone honing your skill as a virtual assistant. Back to this Zap. After adding Asana, instead of publishing, I also want to add another action step, and that is going to be Google Calendar. As you can see from this dashboard, Google Forms, Gmail, and Trello all ticked green. Good. That means they are all good to go and they can work fine. If yours doesn't tick green, do well to troubleshoot it, because it's not ticking green means it's not going to work well. Now to add our Google Calendar, from the plus add step sign, you get to see Google Calendar. In this case, the action event will be to create calendar. This would automatically create a new calendar. So that, and then account sign in to continue. Continuing gets to the setup or configure step. Name and description can be inserted at this point. The project for this week is a shared link of the work done on Asana and Trello, and also a screenshot of the work done on Zapier, or the Zaps created on Zapier. So watch this video attentively and follow each step to get it right. Then from the configure, you get to the test step. Then from the test step, if it is successful, you get to publish your Zap. So publish and turn on your Zap, and your automation will trigger whenever a new form submission occurs. So here it is publishing. This way, every form your Zap is on, right? So now that it is on, and every form submission will automatically send an email, will automatically create a card on Trello, and will automatically create a task in Asana, and even create a new Google Calendar. So I've gone ahead to also edit the name of this Zap, and that is it. So do well to take a screenshot of this page, and that will be it. You would be submitting it as well as your link from Asana and Trello. And I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. My name is Joy Thomas. I'm so pumped up to be on this journey with you, to see your progress. And you've got this. You have got this. Way to go. Keep on winning. And I will be seeing you in week 6, which is the last week in this training. So bye. And if you're not yet subscribed to this space, you are completely wrong. Do well to subscribe to this channel. And not just that, if you find this video helpful, which I know you did, give this video a like, give this video a huge thumbs up, drop a sweet comment down below about the automation you'll be carrying out. If you would be carrying out Google form as the trigger, or you'd want to do something different, you are free to do something different. So drop a comment for me down below. I read every comment, and that will be it. I will be seeing you in week 6, where you would be getting hired as a virtual assistant. But your action step before then is to make your payment for your certificate. This will help your certificate to be processed in time. And that is it, guys. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much, and I will still be seeing you in week 6, where you'll be preparing your LinkedIn, where you'll be practicing LinkedIn optimization. You'll be preparing your cover letter, your resume. You would also be preparing your portfolio. You would definitely get hired in week 6, right? So I can't wait to see you there. I have a lot in place for you, and I can't wait for you to see them till I come your way next week. Bye.